Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to the HOG-POD. You can have to excuse me and Ben today. We're getting on like 14-year-olds. We've both got new toys in the studios, and we've been having a ball, not just today, but for the last few days, to be honest with you. Welcome back to the show. Those that listen to us regularly, I know that we said that the next one would be from Malta, but we decided that we had a little bit of time and that we would squeeze one in. It's a show that's slightly different for you tonight. Ben, we've a couple of extra little tricks in our bag now, haven't we?
We do. Tonight we're going to be showing off. Good evening, folks. Thank you for having me back in your ears and in your eyes. Kenny's correct. We were going to do it from Malta, but we've had quite a few adventures, and I've got the Scottish division of High Command packing my suitcase for me because I'm a child and I can't pack. So I thought I'd utilise the time and get out of her way.
So those of you that are currently watching us, you've probably noticed that there's something a little different about Ben. If you can't quite pick it up, just keep an eye. There we go. There we go. For those of you that are listening, Ben has got himself a new haircut. So it's not actually it's not a new haircut, is it? Is it a haircut? It's not a haircut.
Oh, technically it is, because I had my normal haircut in preparation for Malta, so I look presentable when I met people. Hairstyle we'll go with, but it's pretty much the same style. It's just a slight addition. So
I have a feeling you're going to help either correct me or help me along my way in a minute with some language, because we have a couple of extra tricks in our bag now. We've got ourselves some nice new shiny kit, and we are able to take call-ins, which we're absolutely delighted about. And tonight, and I'm going to give it a go, Ben, we are having our inaugural first time call. Help me out. What is that word?
So for those of us that went to school, it's inaugural.
So that one, or first time, we're having call-ins tonight, and we've got 3 people calling in tonight, which we're absolutely delighted about. Number one, we've got Gordy Dick calling in. Many of you will know Gordy Dick, or know of him, or spent time with him. Road captain training, touring about at Rock, just generally over the last X number of years, you would have come across Gordy. He's coming on to tell us about 2 events that he is involved with, this side of Christmas and the far side of Christmas. We have Steve Link, who is the director of the Welsh Dragon chapter, coming on to tell us about the Tri-Chapter Winter Ball, which is done with Bridgewater and Rolling Hills, isn't it?
I think so, yes. Don't worry, I won't try any Welsh tonight.
Yeah, no, but actually, no, please do. I did learn the Welsh for Brecon Beacons, and I've already forgotten it. I know I gave it a bash on the on one of the shows, but and then the last call that we have is you've heard me and Ben talk about him, our friend Mark. We were on a bit of an adventure where we turned one bike into 2, so he's going to come on and tell us a little bit about that. But first and foremost, not that I was green with envy at all when it was happening, but Benjamin spent quite a little bit of time over the pond. How was the great US of A?
Really good. So I wasn't overly excited about going to America, if I'm totally honest. I had my reservations. We hear a lot of stuff on the news, and we certainly get a picture of America at the moment, don't we, over here in the UK? So a little bit, I can't think about words.
Reticent
to go, yeah. There was a bit of trepidation in terms of the travel plans, because we were actually going to Washington, D.C. as well. So when you think about areas in America at the minute, Ruben called them the Imperial Guard, which made me chuckle. Our tour guide called them the paid tourists, but I'm obviously referencing the National Guard. So you have a lot of people dressed as trees carrying quite powerful rifles at the minute in and around the capital. So that adds a vibe that you're not always expecting. But no, America was fantastic. Like, it was just a brilliant place to be. The vibe out there was incredible. If you've kept up with our socials, I met some interesting folks. Happened to bump into Mr. Bill Davidson. That was quite a chuckle. I was busy trying to get footage, like B-roll footage, as you or I would call it, for stuff coming up and reels and things like that. And the chap in Quantico was like, Ben, happy birthday. So obviously Ali had been in before and briefed him. I'd like to introduce you to Bill. And I'd just done a shot coming along the wheels, and I'd gone back on myself, and I was going to go back down the fairings. I'm like, mate, just give me a sec. Two seconds, I promise. And looked over my shoulder. I was like, oh, shit, you mean that, Bill? Okay, yeah. Camera can go away. I'll meet Bill Davidson. That's not a problem. What a guy, though. Like, the nicest bloke in the world. Proper humble, just easy to have a chat with. Busy signing stuff for the kids. Got my daughter an extra poster because his silver Sharpie, which seems to be a bit of a thing. I think that's Bill's sort of mark, if you will. It's the way he signs things, normally silver Sharpie. So if you look at people's cuts, the other new thing, by the way, microphones, so I can't point here anymore. People's cuts, he tends to sign them in silver Sharpie, which makes sense on black leather. Didn't show up on the poster, went and grabbed another poster, no hassle at all, and then signed that. Selfies, bit of a chat and a blether. I met the chap who was in charge of HOG for the whole of America. He was cool. So he, quick handshake, gave me a challenge coin. He was like, how do you find it? What do you think about it? And I was like, HOG, brilliant, really enjoy it. Different offering in the UK in comparison to what you guys are up to in America. So we've spoke about it before, volume-based markets, all the rest of it. But they're doing things like the Tour of Valor is a HOG organised thing. So I turned up at the dealership that evening. Patriot that night was, so I started in Patriot because it was my birthday, so I got to pick what we did. We did 2 Harley dealerships, a Boot Barn and a Bass Pro, because that's what you do when you get the choice of picking the itinerary. Went back to Patriot in the evening, caught up with these guys on the Tour of Valor. The food was all provided for them. They'd got this whole thing planned out. They were paying for their accommodation and their fuel, obviously. Had a good old chat with that chap, and hopefully trying to organise you and I getting out there. Tour of Valor is open to any HOG member. You just need to go on the big HOG website rather than our sort of localised HOG website. So we might be doing HOG-POD on the road if we can be nice enough to both of our wives to get away with it. And what else did I do? I went around every monument in Washington, D.C., but me being me, work smart, not hard. We hired a golf cart tour, which was cracking. Nobody else. So you're whizzing around all these places, just getting all the information. It was good. It was nice. Plenty of time with the family. Spent too much on cowboy boots. That's my new thing. So my leopard print shoes might be getting retired. I'm making no promises because I did actually, shoes might go, but I found one of my boots is made by a company called Ariat, and they make really good cowboy boots. They also make a leopard print trucker cap with the Ariat logo on, which might or might not, depending on if Ali's listening, be on its way and be on my doorstep when I get home.
Love it. So I'm going to come back to the cowboy boots because I learned something. You sent me a link to a pair which may or may not be winging their way towards me at some stage. But tell me this, Bill
Yes.
Davidson, the man, the legend. How did you find him?
He's just a cool guy, and like he gets what we're about and wants to be part of it, which is really cool. If you think like a lot of people, I mean, he's Willie G. Davidson's grandson. He has every right in the world to be quite snooty and standoffish, and like, you know, he's quite a man, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He has that sort of caliber or kudos or whatever you want to call it, to not necessarily need to speak to us, but just one of us, really. Proper, down to earth, really nice guy, interested in what we were saying. Scanned my QR code on my cut because obviously I'm all about the pushing the podcast. I was like, guys, if you want to know about what's happening in the UK, there's not a huge amount of coverage on us. If you can do something about that, Bill, at the motor company end and get us a bit of stuff, that'd be grand. If not, me and Kenny have got it covered for you in between. Scan my back, find out. Yeah, and a couple of stickers. We've obviously got to get him stickers. So
yeah, I saw the. In fact, here it is. Here the picture of you handing him the HOG-POD sticker, which absolutely loved that. Took that to the bank, I tell you.
Well, I think you managed to post it before I managed to post it. You did check in. You're like, is it all right if I put it on the socials? Like, yeah, dad on. And I think before I'd left Quantico, there was already a post, and it was already obviously hitting people's inboxes because I was getting pings about people looking at it and liking it. So good work there, Kenny.
It was actually a retrospective ask, but hey, just the time difference.
Seek forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah, and obviously you're over there for your birthday. Presumably, this was by accident. It wasn't by design. It's not something that Scottish High Command had arranged.
Sort of, but sort of not. So not there by accident. My sister-in-law is chief of staff for the MOD, so she's busy in Washington. She's based there now for the next 2 or 3 years, I think. So it was more of a case of catch up, and then obviously you tied in with school holidays and things like that. So we went 2 days before my birthday. So it just happened to land where it was. It wasn't a special treat as much as I might have told myself it was. Evidently, the whole thing was planned around my 38th birthday. But no, only in my world.
Yeah, but still, what an incredible coincidence that was. I mean,
that element of it was fantastic. Like the chances of it really was like a sort of 1 in a million chance, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? I'm really pleased that he was the cool guy that you're saying as well, because I think many of us have got stories about meeting that one person that you think is a particular way, and as it turns out, they're not. So no, it's good. It's good that he was. Second question there is to do with you talked about the HOG and the whole sort of the cheap. We're meeting the head of the HOG over there. Feels wise, how did HOG USA feel compared to HOG UK?
I suppose the easiest way of describing it, everything's bigger in America, isn't it? And then if you go to Texas, it's done it 10 times over. I think it's a very similar vibe in terms of the members. Like I would say there's very little difference between us in the UK and those guys in America. They're passionate about the brand. They're passionate about their chapters. I think, like most things, it's just amped up a little bit in that respect. They're very passionate about their chapters and the brand. From an organizational point of view, the little glimpse that I saw, you had, well, I suppose actually it's not that different, because if you think about all the events that we'll see Vicky at, and she gets to people's AGMs and she gets to their rallies where she can. So in terms of that, not different really, I suppose. Just, yes, different, but not, if that makes sense. Didn't make sense to me, so good luck to you listening to that once it's put out there.
We'll just smile and nod, Ben.
Yeah. You're not married to me. That's not allowed. You have to listen.
We'll come back onto the traveling, because we've been talking about it for what feels like absolutely weeks and weeks and months, and it's actually arrived here. We are going to Malta, and we're not going to Malta next month or next week, or no, it's happening, and it's here and it's now. But before we go on to Malta, let's talk about these cowboy boots. So I don't know well, I'm sure many of our listeners are much more educated than I am, but it turns out that you can tan or leather stingrays.
Apparently so, yeah. So I was looking more at the advert after I sent it you. I think the vast majority of the boot is cowhide. I think it's the toe, and it results in a very specific. So stingray sharks, they're of a similar family. Their skin's not smooth. So a shark, if you rub it the wrong way, or a ray, if you were to rub your hand along it the wrong way, it will actually, it has the potential to cut your skin. So their skin is more like teeth, is the way it's set up. So when you get a piece of ray leather, it's like black, but almost... if you see those things where you see like the kids putting all the diamonds, the diamantes on stuff, it feels like that. And there's usually like a white diamond in the middle. And I am acutely aware of the fact they might be a sort of rare species. And I don't own a set of stingray boots, just to put that out there. Kenny said he might have some coming. So if the PETA...
chuck me under the bus, why don't you? I like the red sole on them.
Oh, the red sole is very bougie, isn't it?
Red sole, isn't it? What? There's a female brand of shoes.
No, they do men's shoes as well. Go on.
Oh, there's a brand of shoes. Louboutin, is it Louboutin? Louboutin?
I've always said Louboutin.
Aye, something like that. They just look, again, listen, there's a picture here of these. Forget what they're made of, okay? Just so no one's getting upset about what it's made of. How cool are they?
Very is the answer.
They are the absolute business.
They sit in the exotic section. So I have square toe cowboy boots, because the traditional pointy ones made my feet look a little bit dainty. You then get round toed cowboy boots. You get a narrow square toe, a roper style boot. I've learned all this, and then exotic. So anything that's not standard leather and is a little bit funky sits in the exotic section, and you can watch the numbers go as you look in that box.
But the price of these boots that I'm looking at potentially, or might not be, might not be coming to my house with the red soles in a size 10, just, randomly. The price isn't massive, actually.
No, it's not that bad. When I think about what I paid for other shoes, and I have a bit of an issue with shoes, they're comfortably in a bracket that I would happily pay. And I think as well, if they're well made, so that's the other thing with like things like Ariats, and I've got a set of Cody James as well. you can see how well made they are. They're just an awesome product. They feel good. They look good. So break it down for the length or life of that shoe, then really it's actually quite a good deal. That's what I'm telling myself, and that's what I'm telling Ali, and we're all going to stick to that story, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously you've been back a little bit now. You're just about to head off tomorrow, as
Yes.
we're recording on a Monday. Ben's traveling to Malta on Tuesday. You've been back a little while now, but overall rating, would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down for your time in the US?
Massive thumbs up. Like, I'd definitely go back. The one thing I didn't actually touch on, so we spoke about HOG, the dealerships. Every single dealership I went to, you felt like a celebrity walking in there. It's easily apparent with my accent and the fact I've got my whole family in tow. I'm on holiday. I'm not buying a bike. None of that was an issue. That was all fine. Here's your poker chips. Here's your T-shirts. Do you want dealer tees or do you want generic tees? I bought a new jacket, and I've been looking at this jacket for a while. And it was $125. And it's a waterproof riding jacket with Ghost Armor in the elbows and shoulders. So D30 Ghost Armor. I would have lost money hanging that thing back up. And the other cool thing, Ali liked it. So she suggested that I got it. So, I argued, obviously, and said, no, I don't need it, love. I'll get other things. Ended up with the jacket, obviously.
Of course.
We went to Patriot, which was in Virginia. We went to Quantico, which is really cool. The other brand I really like is a brand called Dixon, and they make flannel shirts, but they make them for like big bands and things like that. So you'll get like a Metallica shirt, they'll be named. And Quantico Harley-Davidson has their own range of shirts made by Dixon. So I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? Could you imagine a UK dealership having a collab with a massive clothing brand like that, separate to everything else? So Quantico is super cool. They actually ended up with a Davidson Legacy t-shirt. So the clothing manager was just boss. He was just really helpful the whole way through. Sorted me out with a couple of things that I wouldn't have been able to get if I hadn't had that conversation with him. So in a sort of mad sense of I'm putting it out in the world and then I've got to live with it a bit, that I do quite a bit, I handed over a Davidson Legacy t-shirt. So that's now in Quantico Harley-Davidson, and it went to the manager of the brand, the manager of the branch, the store. So, yes, we're pushing that as well, and we're making those sort of international relations, we'll call it. So hopefully Nairi might see an updraft in visits from across the pond. The next dealership I went to was Harley of Washington, D.C., which, like a lot of Harley dealers, isn't in Washington, D.C. Used to be, moved out to bigger premises. There I got a tour. I walked around the whole dealership. As soon as I walked in, there's a chap there called Ken. Met me, not a problem. Let's walk you around the dealership, show you all the stuff. They've got mad stuff. So like Denmark, indoor wash bays. Let's have more indoor wash bays. So think of our detailers. They are cold for a lot of the year. They've been there for 50 odd years. So you think about the length of time UK dealers go for, and it's impressive. And then you go there and you're hearing like 50 years of in the same location and open previously. Then the last dealership I managed to squeeze in, because I got a couple in, I think Ali was sleeping while I was driving. We went to Old Glory, which is, it's the sister dealership to Patriot Harley-Davidson, and it's in a place, Bowie of something. So it's just outside of Washington, so it doesn't sit within the Washington boundaries. And there I met a chap called Jason, and Jason took me around, showed me all the stuff. Went and met the ladies in the merch, bought more T-shirts than I needed. Sadly, didn't have any poker chips, but Jason resolved that for me. He popped out and grabbed me one because of the distance I'd traveled. And they mentioned an annex. So we went to the said annex. And Ali saw the pictures. She's like, that's not all that impressive. That's like just a storage facility. I was like, but see, when you walk through the door and you see, like Big Doug racking, like the industrial racking that you get in warehouses.
Yeah.
So double height, well, triple height actually. But the first two rungs are just CVO glides. And you're probably talking about 10, and none of them matched. So they were all different pattern, different like paint jobs and things like that. When that door opens and you see that, yeah, kind of takes your breath away a little bit. And then you're walking around within the same facility, you've got like a limited edition Fat Boy up on the shelf. You've got a 70s chopper. The picture, if you saw it on the socials of the Pan America, The Pan America looks like it's definitely seen some action and a bit unloved, but it had a particular silver and black plate on the back of it, which Jason told me comes straight from the Harley factory. So when they're putting out fleet bikes or press bikes, that's a very particular number plate that's put on it, which in itself is pretty cool. So that was nice. And you felt welcomed. Do you know what I mean? You just felt like you're there. You're not an inconvenience. It was cool to have you. You've made the effort to come and see us. We're going to look after you. It was lovely. It was good.
Good. Well, listen, I'm delighted that you enjoyed it. I'm absolutely over the moon that you got to meet Bill, particularly given it was your birthday. Massively excited that he's got one of our stickers, which obviously he put on the front of his book, no doubt. So every time he starts his day, it's on the front of his book. Yeah. So we have got our first caller of the day. If you're ready for him, Ben.
I am very much ready and excited. Let's go for it.
Gordy Dick is joining us today. Gordy, welcome to the show. Thanks very much.
Yeah, hi guys. Thank you very much for having me.
Not at all. Listen, just to let you know, you are the first maiden flight of this call-in that we now have on the HOG-POD. So I have to do this because we have it. But as we've already discussed, I need to get a shorter one because it goes on for ages and ages and ages.
You got one.
We have to love being the first at something, don't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, listen, the reason I wanted to speak to you, obviously, last time we saw each other was at the Rock, and I picked up one of your leaflets, and I was intrigued. So, I was hoping you could tell us a little bit more about what it is that you've got planned.
Yeah. So, years ago, I remember one of the Harley-Davidson executives saying to me that if you can take somebody away overnight on a motorbike, you open up the world of travel for them forever. Because if you can do one night away overnight on a motorbike, then you can go as far as you want because all you have to do is repeat that one night. Mm-hmm. So, ride motorcycle training, we're sort of trying to build on that with our end of season weekender, just taking people away into the lakes. Very short trip, nice and easy, couple of nights away, bit of training, just to get them away and do something overnight and expand their riding. So it's going to be open to everybody, really, from all sorts of levels.
Fantastic. I love that idea, actually. If you can do it for one night, just rinse and repeat. Never thought of it like that.
Yeah, so it's really simple, isn't it? If you think about it like that, it's really simple, isn't it? So if you can go away for one night on a motorbike, then 100 nights is just 100 of the same thing. And all you have to do is rinse and repeat. You can do it. But that first night, going away, that first time on a ferry, that first night overnight, that first trip away, it's just massive, isn't it? It's that it's a big thing to get over and get done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The one that the end of season weekender that you have, obviously that's this side of Christmas. That there is running on the 28th to the 30th of November 2025. It's being held in the Lake District. I take it you still have spaces available for this. People can still get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we've got it. We've got exclusive use to one of the youth hostels there. So nice and simple format, nice and cheap weekend. We've got 4 of our instructors available all weekend as well. So we're going to split into groups. So you get 3 days training, a couple of nights accommodation, food included, and we might even have a few beers as well. So it's just a great opportunity for people to meet up, ride with people with different experiences or the same experiences, get talking about bikes, develop the riding a little bit, and really, I mean, hopefully the weather's going to be great, but we're not going that far. So even if it's a bit damp or a bit cold, it's not going to spoil the weekend.
Exactly. You're in the Lake Districts at the end of November. It's hardly going to be tropical, but as you say, it'll be. I'm sure you'll be blessed with the weather. The idea of this, then, really, is it to do with advancing driving or advancing riding skills, and because it seems to be very much set up for people from, well, as you say here on the leaflet, either a 125 CBT rider right up to someone that's advanced or and beyond. It seems to be catering for everybody.
Yeah, so pretty much what we're going to do is split everyone into different groups. So we've got a group for 125s, a group for people that might either be working towards the direct access or the full license or just past it, and then guys that are looking for sort of advanced riding that might have been riding 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and doing quite a lot of miles and just want to progress their ride. So we'll set off with 3 groups, work out where everyone is. We can move people up a group, down a group, round a group, so that everyone gets a chance to do something different. But realistically, it's just about giving everyone an opportunity just to be away together, have a chat about stuff, having that mix of experience as well. So it's something that people can share and just share stories on what they're doing, what they've got on the bike, what bits they use, how to travel. It's all new for some people, isn't it? And then if you've been doing it for years, there's always somebody with another good idea that you need to learn.
Yeah, Ben, we spoke about this before. I know not necessarily on camera, but certainly privately. If you're the best person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes, absolutely. And see, it's the training element that really piqued my interest. There's lots of opportunities to get together on bikes and go away for a weekend, isn't there? But that's a definite, for me anyway, for what I'm aware of that's available in the UK, that's a definite unique selling point right there. The fact that you can go away, like Gordon's been saying, with like-minded people, but also varying skill range. If I sign up, I'm going in the 125 weekend, please. I don't want a big weekend of advanced riding. I might show myself up. But no, it's that. It's the fact that you're putting on something, Gordon, where people can develop their riding, because a lot of what we do, particularly in hog world, it is about going away and having a bit of a party, and there's a couple of rides included, but they're more part of the just get out and enjoy it, and you'll go back the same way you set off, if that makes sense. But the fact you could go away, spend a weekend with people with the same interests, but come back slightly better or improved or notched up, or whatever language you'd like to use around that, I think that's cracking. I think that's a really cool idea, and certainly something I've not seen before. And I'm not just blowing smoke up Gordon's ass because he's on the phone. He's at a safe enough distance in the lakes. I could say something mean and I might be able to get away in time. So I think it's a really good idea. And it is, like I said, something I've not been aware of or seen.
Yep. So what we'll do is, while we've been chatting here, there's been some images flash up anyway, of to giving you some more details. But as always, in the notes, etc., there'll be links. What I'd love to talk about next, Gordy, is the European Bike Week tour for 2026. That's a bit of a monster. You've clearly been a busy man. I'm not sure what you had to do to put all that together, but that looks like a really, really incredible couple of weeks.
Yeah, so again, just the same sort of idea, just giving people that new experience, that something different, taking people away, doing something different, like-minded people, going touring, enjoying the miles together. So we've got about 3,000 miles, and we've got 11 countries. We're setting off from the Channel Tunnel, so we'll be meeting at Folkestone at the Channel Tunnel, get on the Channel Tunnel together. Again, that first thing, people not been abroad before, or people that are wanting to do it that have more experience. So we'll meet Folkestone, head out through in towards the Alps. Nice week riding through the Alps. Then we've got a day off on the coast in Croatia just to enjoy a bit of sunshine and a bit of beach time. And then we're down into riding through Croatia into Bosnia as well. Heading back up round and back into Austria for Fakase to European Bike Week. I mean, it's just got all the stuff that you want to have out of a trip, isn't it? Just 2 weeks of mountains, adventure, and then capping it all off with probably the best motorcycle event in Europe.
Yeah, it won't be the first time you've done all this either, is it? And I think you've been around the block a bit in these parts of the world.
Yeah, definitely. So I've done a few tours for Tour One over the last sort of 8 or 9 years, down into the Adriatic round, and then crossing over into Italy. It would be a traditional route for us. Connecting it all together and doing that kind of Adriatic coast, the Croatian coast road. I mean, it's one of the fantastic roads in the world. Like Route 1 in the States. It's just that coastline road, just miles and miles of open views, nice hillside. It's just fantastic. So having that and being able to link that up with Fakase at European Bike Week as well, it's just going to be ideal. It's something that I want to do. And generally, I find that when you're organising something, if you organise something that you want to do, other people will want to do it with you, and that's really a secret for it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. So for anyone that is interested in doing it, what's the best thing for them to do? Simply get in touch with you and take it from there? Yeah,
so we've stuck a bit of information on Facebook, and just drop us a message. It's probably if you got my number, drop me a message on the phone, drop me a message on WhatsApp or Messenger. Let's have a chat about what you want to do, whether you want to come, whether you don't want to come, whether you want more information. And it's just something that we're going to be doing, just a trip away on an annual basis, just for guys that want to go away and enjoy it, or couples that want to go away and enjoy it. And we've got 5 or 6 rooms already booked, so we've got a few more rooms to go, and then we'll be calling it a day for the next year's trip.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds pretty special, that one, doesn't it? So that's 15 days of riding through 11 countries. I'm reading from the leaflet here. This is not my words. Packed with stunning scenery, great roads, and unforgettable memories. You've got it from the horse's mouth there, Gordy. He's done this with Gary and Tour One. If there's any man to follow around Europe, it's going to be Gordy. Gordy, listen, thank you very, very much for taking a bit of time with us and telling us a little bit more about that. Done a far better job of it than I could have possibly done. So, listen, obviously, best of luck with it. And just out of interest, are you heading to Malta?
I'm not. There was a vicious rumor that I was going to head to Malta, but even I have not got the appetite for riding to Malta in November. But fair play to both of them, Talon and Gav, for giving it a go. I mean, that is, they're in the Alps just now, aren't they? So they're in Switzerland as we talk, and I think they've already said that it's been varied weather. But riding that far in November is definitely an adventure that's going to. I mean, it's memories that are going to last a lifetime, isn't it? So, fantastic thing to do, and just a cracking thing to go and enjoy people. And the welcome they're going to get in Malta when they ride up on British bikes is going to be fantastic as well, isn't it? You know, the big people waiting to talk to them about their adventure getting there.
Yeah,
like you said, though, I was slightly itching and feeling a little bit jealous that they were riding, and then I got a message from Gav and saw what they were riding through, and I was like, I am so glad to be on Ryanair. And I never thought those words would come out my
mouth. There is sometimes it's probably better not to ride, but I mean, it's still the memories. Nobody talks about perfect day, do they? You know, everyone talks about the days where something happens, and those memories, those stories. The damp days, the exciting days, the breakdowns, they're all the memories that you remember. So perfect days aren't the ones that you remember.
Well, hopefully they'll get a plain sail ride down there. But I have been following it, and we were gratefully accepted into the Wolverhampton or the Wolf-Runa group. We were really pleased that they let us into it. So we've actually been able to follow it each day, and Kev's putting his location out there and letting us know where he's at. And I'll tell you what, they've covered some distance, but you could see where they were coming up over the last day or so, and you're just like, wow, wrong time of the year. There's people going past them on snowboards.
Yeah, they're going to know all about it traveling through the Alps at this time of year. But I mean, again, it would just be brilliant, won't it? So they're going to love it, and they'll have a great time riding together as well. You know, they're great guys.
And it's that thing, and coming from a training background, Gordon, you know yourself. There's the old saying that calm seas don't make good sailors. So riding through all that, I mean, I don't think Kev and Gav have a huge amount more to learn. They've both been riding for a very long time. But riding through that sort of weather really does test your mettle, doesn't it? And probably teaches you a lot of things, even as a long-term rider, of what we could do differently or better.
Yeah, they'll both be looking for new waterproofs by the time they come home. I've no doubt.
I'm sure.
I think Gav's had that orange set forever, though. I think he bought them when they first started being. I've seen those orange overalls everywhere. He's added patches to his already visible dungarees. I don't know if you noticed that on his socials. So his blue denim dungarees with the high-vis striping now, I think, has every patch that HOG have issued over the last few years, which is nice to see. And do you know what I mean? I love that. That's what I like about HOG. It's the pride of wearing your story on you, isn't it, when you go around? And stitching things on is slightly less painful than tattooing, I guess.
Gordon, thank you so much, mate, for coming on. Really, really appreciate your time. Obviously, enjoy whatever you've got planned for the next week. If you're not going to be in Malta, probably happy to not be in your saddle, but we've appreciated having you on, and we'll catch you at some point.
Fantastic. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.